Space. The final frontier. It's fucking boring. Fucking cold, too. This is my, log? Captain's log, stardate. Except I'm not the captain. Chief botanist's log doesn't sound so good, does it? I don't usually do this video diary stuff, but I thought I'd better, seeing as... well, there's no one else here now, is there? Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, space. Cold and boring. I didn't used to think that. When I was a kid, I used to have this recurring nightmare. It was this thing, I never even saw it, but it kept tapping on my window. I used to call it the tap-tap. I know, what an imagination. And it didn't do anything more than that, but for some reason I was terrified of it. And in my sleep I would do all sorts of things to make it go away. Opening doors, opening windows, smashing them. I think I thought that if I let it in, it would somehow be appeased. I wasn't a very smart child, as you can tell. And it's silly now, but I used to sleepwalk and basically vandalise my parents' house. I mean, in retrospect, it's lucky they didn't refer me to a counsellor. I probably wouldn't have made it through the filtering process for this. Mind you, that wouldn't necessarily have been such a bad thing. Nearly burnt the house down once. But my mum, she never got angry. My dad, that was a different story, but there you go. My mum, though. They say you shouldn't wake a sleepwalker. That's bullshit, by the way. You just need to be ready for them to be really confused. My mum would wake me, and she just hugged me till I knew it was safe. And she'd say, "Hey, the night's not so bad. Why don't we go out and look at the stars?" And we go and sit in the garden. And I remember lying in the grass with my mum, looking up at the night sky, and it was so big that the tap-tap just seemed insignificant. Of course, I grew up in Woking, so there weren't all that many stars that you could actually see. I mean, when you see a film, like an American one, and they look up at the sky, it just looks impossible. Like you can't imagine the night being that dark with so many distant suns burning in the ether. I thought it was made up. But then, and I remember going on a camping trip in Wales, looking up at the night sky and thinking, wow. I remember the comfort of that infiniteness. That it didn't matter how much I screwed up in life, those stars would always be there. I remember looking up at that years later with my mum, feeling that blanket of insignificance. It's good to know that whatever you... It's nice to know that nothing that you do really Sorry, did you... One more. Sorry about that. I thought Anyway, where was I? Space. Cold and boring. Like a can of Budweiser. I guess you can add it to that list of things that look great from a distance, but when you're actually there, kind of suck. You spend most of your time trying to find tasks just to keep yourself from going... I mean, you need to find things to do. The rest of the crew, they have things to look after. But I'm a botanist. A botanist on a spaceship. A hermetically sealed, necessarily sterilised, notably plant-free metal tube. I mean, what were they thinking? I mean, great when we get to Mars, when we actually want to grow stuff. Fuck me, is it boring till then. I keep myself amused by trying to memorise all the part numbers and the codes around the ship. Monitor on the co-pilot side of the cockpit, XP679. The code for the canteen level airlock, 54321. Yes, our security officer is an idiot. The product code for the network panel on the lower walkway, SD25891. I know, I'm irresistible. It's my way of tricking myself into thinking I'm being useful. We're only 254 days away. I guess what I'm saying is that if I'd known about the cold and the boring thing, I probably wouldn't have signed up. Why did I sign up? Maybe I thought I'd like to be remembered for something. Something good, anyway. So, when they started advertising for the first people to live on Mars, I mean, how could I resist? I mean, imagine that. Just imagine how mind-fucking-bogglingly astounding that is. No other person, no other species, as far as we know, has ever started life on one sphere and ended it on another. There are no other transplanetary beings anywhere in the entire known universe. I mean, yeah, we knew it was going to be a one-way trip, but still, it's a hell of a selling point. Pity, really. For the others, I mean. What's that noise? Sorry, again. It did just sound like someone... Well, obviously it's no one. It can't be. They're all, I don't miss people so much. At least not those people. Sorry, I know that sounds callous. I mean, they're all good people. It's just, I didn't really fit in. I mean, at the beginning we all got on, you know, but it's things you can't prepare for. You know, the stress was so bad I started having those recurring dreams again. Even went sleepwalking twice. That was the cause of some humour. I guess it's human that people form cliques and stuff. It's just unfortunate that one clique happened to be me and the other happened to be everyone else. In the end, though, I guess it worked out in my favour. Or not, depending on your perspective. I mean, when the airlock failed, I was certainly fortunate to be the only one not eating in the mess with everyone else. So, yeah. I guess I should have started with that, really. Shouldn't I? So, yeah. They're all, yeah. I didn't really know how to tell you. So, well, I didn't. Also, the radio is broken, which is a real problem. Your telecoms engineer is floating in the depths of space. I Google how to fix it, but reception really starts to trail off once you get beyond the ionosphere. In the end, I figured the best thing was to leave this recording in case in case I can't have this conversation face to face. Like I said, I don't miss them. I mean, I'm not happy that they're, you know, but they weren't really the best of friends. I've made a list of the things that I do miss. The smell of sea air, birdsong, the tube. I know, I was as surprised as anyone. Sunbathing, sunsets, sunrises, toast with butter and jam, toast with peanut butter, toast with Marmite and butter. Let's see, toast with Nutella, naughty. Toast with honey, toast, dry. I know, I'm a maniac. Toast with... Have I said toast a lot? I think I might have got stuck on that one. Let's see, I mean, it can't just be... Oh, there you go. Bread. Sliced. Toasted. Why the fuck haven't they invented a toaster in space? I mean, why is that not basic kit? But, I mean, if you just rewired one of the heating elements in the canteen and then... I'm just gonna pause this. Back in a minute. It turns out you cannot make a toaster in space. At least I can't. I mean, if I happened to be electrical engineer Kelly Briggs, I'm sure I could rig something up. But as previously mentioned, she and the rest of the crew are making the vacuum of space that little bit less of a void. Sorry. Gallows humour. Seriously, what is that? Tapping. It sounds like tapping on the outside of the ship. It's not, though. Of course not. I've been trying to keep myself amused in various ways. I tried putting on a one-man version of The Sound of Music. Raindrops and roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, something and something tied up with string. These are a few of my favourite somethings. Turns out I don't actually know the words to the song. Turns out I don't really remember much of the film. In the end, I just ended up spinning around in an imaginary field and then escaped some Nazis. It's all just a bit of a blur. Some Nazis and some nuns and the what are their names? The family. How can I forget that? It's gone. Would you shut the fuck up? Excuse me. Look, I feel I need to get this out in the open. I want you to hear it from me rather than from someone else. Right. So on the day of the airlock failure, I wasn't in my quarters. Well, I was, but it wasn't because I wanted to be separate from the rest of them. You see, remember I said about the tap thing and the sleepwalking? Well, it turns out the second time I did it, well, I pressed a few buttons I shouldn't have. I mean, luckily we didn't need all that oxygen anyway. But I was not in people's good books for a while, and it wasn't my fault. It was the taps. Fuck knows how it followed me here, but it did. Look, I tried to warn them. I mean, the ship's counsellor, she recommended I be confined to quarters for a few days, but what the counsellor didn't know, what the rest of the crew didn't know, was that I knew the code for the doors anyway. Like I said, I've memorised all the numbers round the ship. Oh, be quiet, you're not getting in. I mean, in a way, this is fortunate. Listen, you hear that? I mean, you see, I didn't want this to be blamed on me. I was worried I might have... But that noise proves it. I've no idea how I opened the door, though. I mean, only Callum, the security officer, knew the codes. Well, him and me, but I didn't do it, did I? That noise proves it. I mean, look, there's only one explanation. I've been thinking about it for a while. I've been trying to remember how I got rid of it in the first place. It's the stars. It's looking at them with my mum, that feeling of insignificant bliss. That's what scares it. That's what makes it go away. So, here's my plan. I go outside and I take in the night sky. I mean, all the spacesuits were in the canteen when so they're all gone. But don't worry, I'll do without. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's space. You'll die. But don't worry, I've got a plan. I'll hold my breath. I mean, I'll be back inside in like 2 minutes. Yeah? Look, I know exactly what I'm doing. You hear that, you little fucker? Then you'll be quiet, won't you? So, so, what are the main bullet points? Space boring, crew dead, toast good. Yeah, that about covers it. So, going out that airlock. Back in a mo. Von Trapp family and The Sound of Music. Yes, fuck yes, that would have bugged me for ages.
just realised. Forgot to pause this. Such an idiot.